There was no doubt whatsoever about that. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner, Ebenezer Scrooge.
And Scrooge's name was as good as gold for anything he chose to put his hand to.
Old Marley was as dead as a doornail.
Mind, I don't mean to say that I know, of my own knowledge, what there is particularly dead about a doornail. I might be inclined myself to regard a coffin nail as the deadest piece of iron in the trade.
You therefore permit me to repeat emphatically that Marley's as dead as a doornail.
Did Scrooge know he was dead? Of course he did. Scrooge and he were partners for I don't know how many years. Scrooge was his sole executor,
His sole administrator,
His sole assigned,
His sole friend.
his sole mourner.
and yet even so, Scrooge remained unmoved by the sad event. He remains now, as ever, an excellent man of business, even on the very day of the funeral.
The mention of Marley's funeral brings me back to the point I start from. There is no doubt that Marley is dead.
As dead as a doornail.
this must be distinctly understood, or nothing wonderful can come of the story we are going to relate.
Scrooge never painted out old Marley's name. Even after all these years, here it stands, above the warehouse door. Scrooge and Marley. The firm is still known as Scrooge and Marley.
Sometimes people new to the business called Scrooge Scrooge, and sometimes Marley.
Who is as dead as a doornail?
But he answers to both names. It's all the same to him.
Oh, but he was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone, Scrooge. A squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner, hard and sharp as flint, from which no steel had ever struck out generous fire, secret and self-contained, and as solitary as an oyster.
The cold within him froze his old features, nipped his nose, shriveled his cheeks, made his eyes red and thin lips blue, stiffened his walk. He spoke out shrewdly in a grating voice, and his iciness did not thaw at 1 degree at Christmas.
External heat and cold had little influence on Scrooge. No warmth could warm, and no wintry weather would chill him. No wind that blew was bitterer than he.
Once upon a time, of all the good days in the year, on Christmas Eve, old Scrooge sat busy in his counting house. It was cold, dreary, biting weather, and he could hear the people in the court outside go wheezing up and down, blowing on their hands and stomping their feet upon the pavement stones to warm them.
The city clocks had just gone 3, but it was quite dark already. It had not been light all day because of a dense fog that had settled on the narrow streets. The fog came pouring in every chink and keyhole, and it was so dense outside that although the courthouse was of the narrowest, the houses opposite were but mere shadows.
The door to Scrooge's counting house was open so that he might keep an eye upon his clerk, who in a dismal little cell beyond was copying letters. Scrooge had a very small fire, but the clerk's fire was so very much smaller that it looked like one coal.
But he couldn't replenish it, for Scrooge kept the coal box in his own room. Wherefore the clerk wrapped himself further in his threadbare cloak and tried to warm himself at the candle, in which effort, while not being a man of strong imagination, he failed.
As our story begins, the clanging of the church bell enters a cheerful humming that penetrates the perpetual coldness of the counting house.
A Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Ah, humbug.
Christmas? A humbug. Uncle, you don't mean that, I'm sure.
I do. Much good it's ever done you. You're poor enough.
Don't be cross, Uncle. You're rich enough.
How could I not be in a world such as this? People pay bills without money. People go around saying Merry Christmas and they find themselves a year older and not an hour richer. It's a terrible time. You find yourself a year older and not an hour richer. Every idiot that goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
Uncle!
Nephew, you keep Christmas in your way and I'll keep it in mine.
keep it, but you don't keep it.
Much good it's ever done you.
There are many great things from which I've derived good, by which I have not profited, I dare say. Christmas is the only time I know of in the long calendar year when men and women seem by one consent to open their shut-up hearts freely and to think of one another as fellow passengers in the journey of life.
Let me hear no more from you.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow.
Humbug, no.
Why not? You never came to see us before, and this is as good a reason to come now.
Bah, humbug.
I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why can't we be friends?
Good evening.
I am sorry, with all my heart, to find you so fixed in your ways. We have never had any fight to which I've been a part of, but I've made the effort, so I'll keep my Christmas to the last. A Merry Christmas, Uncle,
Good evening, sir.
and a Happy New Year, and a Merry Christmas to you, Bob.
Thank you, sir. Merry Christmas to you.
Good evening, sir. There goes another fellow with 15 shillings a week and a wife and family going about saying Merry Christmas.
But the disturbances to Scrooge's precious solace were not quite finished.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe.
Have we the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley has been dead these 7 years. He died 7 years ago this very night.
We have no doubt his generosity is well represented by his surviving partner.
At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, it is more usually desirable that we make some slight provision for the poor and destitute who suffer greatly at this present time. Many thousands are in want of common necessities. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common comforts, sir.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons.
And the union workhouses, are they still in operation?
They are still. Sadly, I wish I could say they were not.
I'm glad to hear that. I was afraid from what you said that perhaps they had ceased operation. I'm glad to hear that they're still doing what they're meant to do.
A few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. We choose this time because the abundance rejoices. What shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
You wish to remain anonymous?
I wish to be left alone, since you ask, ladies. That is what I wish for. I cannot make myself merry, and I certainly can't pay to make other people merry who go around asking for handouts. I pay enough for the establishments that I mentioned, and if people are badly off, they must go there.
Many can't go there, and many would rather die.
Then they should go ahead and do it and decrease the surplus population.
But...
Good evening, ladies.
Scrooge returned to his labors with a more improved opinion of himself, and a more humbug temper than was usual for him.
Meanwhile, the fog and darkness thickened, and the cold became intense.
The cold evolved into a piercing, searching, biting cold. The voices of several young children, hungry and cold, stood outside Scrooge's window to regale him with the Christmas carol.
When nothing you dismay, remember Christ our Savior was born.
Humbug! Be gone! I guess you'll be wanting the day off tomorrow.
It's quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient, and it's not fair.
But, sir, it says but once a year.
A fine excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. You would think ill of me if I didn't give you a full day off with pay. But, yeah, I guess you must have it. Be here all the earlier the next morning.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Scrooge lived in a gloomy set of rooms which once belonged to his deceased partner. It's old enough now, and dreary enough, for nobody lives in it but Scrooge.
Now, it is a fact that there is nothing at all particular about the knocker on the door, except that it is very large. Let it also be kept in mind that Scrooge had not spent one thought on Marley since this afternoon.
Scrooge pondered why he had suddenly thought about Jacob Marley. 7 years ago this night he died, alone in their counting house. He was found the next morning slumped over his ledger books, cold and stiff as ice.
The only remorse that Scrooge had shown was over the waste of the candles, as they had not been properly extinguished. They were allowed to burn themselves out.
Scrooge had carried on in the following years as if there had never been a Jacob Marley. He did admit that it was a burden to find someone as shrewd as Jacob had been. But now he had an even tighter hold on money, and Jacob had left him his lodgings.
But no matter how hard he tried, he could not shake the memory of his former partner from his mind. They had never been particularly close, just as business partners who shared a common interest. Scrooge could not even recall a conversation they had that did not revolve around their business.
If Scrooge is cold and his heart is flint, Jacob had been worse.
Determined to push the thoughts of Jacob aside, Scrooge settles down for a meager meal in the gloom of his room, lit only by a struggling fire, just as he had done every night for the past 7 years.
However, tonight will be no ordinary night.
What? Jacob? Who are you? No, humbug. I don't believe it. What do you want with me?
Much!
Who are you?
Ask me who I was!
Who were you then?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley!
Can you sit?
I can. You don't believe in me!
No, I don't.
What evidence do you require?
I don't know.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because a little thing affects them. You could be a disorder of the stomach. You could be an underdone potato. You could be a bit of beef that's undercooked. You could be a blot of potato. You could be a blot of cheese. There's more of gravy than of grave about you, whatever you are.
Ah!
Why do you torment me, spirit? Why do you torment me?
Mortal worthy man, do you believe in me or not?
I do, I must. But why do spirits walk the earth, and why do you come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk among his fellow men. And if that spirit does not do so in life, it is doomed so to do in death and witness what it cannot have shared, but might have shared on earth.
But you wear chains. Why?
I wear the chains I forged in life. I made it link by link and yard by yard. I put it on my own free will, and on my own free will I wore it. Is this pattern strange to you? The weight of this strong coil is the same as the one you bear yourself. It was as heavy and as long as the 7 crucifixes ago, and you have been laboring on it ever since. It is a woefully monstrous chain.
Jacob, speak kind words, speak comfort to me.
I've none to give, Ebenezer, nor can I tell you what I would. Very little is permitted to me. I cannot rest, I cannot say, I cannot linger anywhere. In life, my spirit never walks beyond the narrow limits of our counting house. Oh, not to know, captive bound and double chained, not to know that no amount of ages of incessant, of labor, of toil awaited me for my lack of charity. Not to know that no amount of regret can make up for a lifetime of misused opportunities. Yet such as I, oh, such am I!
But you were always such a good man of business, Jacob.
Business! Mankind was my business! The common welfare was my business! Charity, mercy, tolerance, and generosity were my business! The dealings of our trade are but a drop of water in the vast ocean of my business! It's time of the waning year I suffer most. Oh, why do I walk through crowds of my fellow men with my eyes turned down? Never raise them to that humble star which led the wise men to the humble manger. Are there no poor homes to which its light would have conducted me? Hear me! My time is nearly gone!
I will, Jacob, but speak plainly to me.
You will be visited by 3 spirits.
Is that the hope that you spoke of?
It is.
I'd rather not.
Without these visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread, except when the bell tolls 1.
Could I have all 3 at once and get them over?
Look to see me no more, and look that, for your own sake, you remember what has passed between us.
Spirits, humbug. Marley, humbug. Chains. No, I must be sick. Something must be wrong. I'm all worked up about all this charity. Bob wants a day off with pay. People want a handout for no work. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Humbug, no. I must be sick. I'm sleepy. Sleep. Sleep. Yes. Sleep will make it better. I'll be better in the morning. Ah, 1:15.
Did I sing yet?
It's 1/2. A 1:45. Ah, the hour itself and nothing else. Ah. Are you the spirit that was warned about?
I am. I am the spirit of Christmas past.
Which past? Are you long past?
Your past.
Why are you here?
Your welfare.
I could imagine that a full night's sleep would be better for my welfare.
Come and walk with me.
I am old, I am frail, and I may fall.
Take my hand and I will support you.
Good heavens, I was a boy here.
You are trembling, and what is that upon your cheek?
It's nothing, it's just a night air.
Do you remember the way?
Remember it, I could walk it blindfolded.
Come on, David. Try to catch me.
Why?
I'm on your tail, Robert.
There's Henriette.
Not out, Robert.
They were friends of mine. Hello, hello.
These are but shadows of the things that have already been. The school is not quite deserted. A solitary child, neglected by his friends, is still there.
Oh, poor boy. I wish, it doesn't matter now.
What is the matter?
There were some children singing by my window today. I wish that I could give them something, that's all.
Let us see another Christmas.
I've come to bring you home, dear brother. To bring you home, home, home. Home, little fan? Yes, home for good and all. Home forever and ever. Father is so much kinder than he used to be. That home is like heaven now. He spoke ever so gently to me one night when I was going to bed that I wasn't afraid to ask him once more if he might come home. And he said, yes, he should. He sent me in a coach to bring you home. We are all to be together all Christmas long and at the merriest time in all the world. You're quite a woman, little fan.
Always a delicate creature, whom a breath might have withered, but she had a large heart.
Yes, I cannot argue that, Spirit.
She died a woman and had, as I think, children.
One child.
True, your nephew.
Yes.
Come along, Ebenezer, it is time to see another Christmas.
Do you know this place?
Know it? Why, yes, I was apprenticed here. Why, there's old Fezziwig. Dear old Fezziwig, still alive. attached to
Christmas
me.
Eve, dinner,
Here, flex my
Christmas,
soul,
Ebenezer.
Dick.
Let's have the shutters up before a man can say Jack Robinson. Hilly Hill, clear the way, my lads, and let's have lots of room here. Hilly Hill, come along, Dick. Come on, Ebenezer.
A small matter to make these silly folks so full of gratitude and joy.
Oh,
Ebenezer, it's Christmas. As we love this time of year, and I love his parties.
We're the most fortunate. No one prepares a gold president. He spares no expense to make sure we have the best.
The food, not only does he pay well, but he feeds well too. Hurry, I can't wait to see what Mrs. Fezberg has prepared.
I can't imagine the expense he incurs, but it is a highlight of the year. How much could he save? He's under no obligation to shower us with such extravagance.
Stop your worrying, Ebenezer. Worry about the expense books later. Hurry, the party is starting. I can taste the pastries. Fezberg won't stand for us to be late.
I'll race you there.
I think we should walk.
He has spent but a few pounds of your mortal money. 3 or 4, perhaps. Is that so much he deserves this praise?
it isn't a small thing, as he said. He used simple things like words and encouragement, and he made us feel like we were doing a good job. He could make us feel poorly or make us feel good based on his simple things, his words. It's not a simple thing. It's not a small thing. It's a thing that is great as a fortune.
What is the matter?
It is nothing.
Let us see another Christmas.
It matters little to you, very little. Something you value more has replaced me, and if it can cheer and comfort you in times to come, as I would have tried to do, I have no reason to be upset.
What has replaced you?
Money and the pursuit of it.
What about it then? Now there's a double standard for you. All the rules speak so passionately against poverty, yet it condemns the pursuit of wealth just as harshly.
You fear the world too much, Ebenezer. All your other hopes have alluded into the one hope of eluding the disapproval of others. I have seen your better qualities fall away, one by one, until there's nothing left but the one controlling passion, the pursuit of money, and it consumes you.
What about it then? Even if I have grown wiser and more respected, I haven't changed my feelings towards you. Have I asked to break our engagement?
In words, no.
Then why do you feel my feelings have changed?
And everything that made my love of any worth or value in your sight. If this had never been between us, tell me, would you seek me out and try to win me now? Your lack of response gives me my answer. It was different when we were still young and poor, but you have chosen a different path. I have come to accept it and do not seek to persuade you. So I release you with a full heart, full of a memory of the man you once were. But you may feel sad now, Ebenezer. but I have no doubt that you'll forget me very soon, as you lose your last distraction from your true intent in life. May you be happy in the life you have chosen.
Spirit, I demand you remove from this place. I can't take this. You torment me.
One shadow more.
No more. No more. I can't take any more.
Ho there. I saw an old business acquaintance of yours this afternoon.
Who was it?
Guess.
Honestly now, how would I ever know?
Why, that old penny pincher, Mr. Scrooge. I passed by his office window, and for once it was not shut up. I could scarcely help seeing him. His partner lies upon the point of death, I hear. And there he sat alone, quite alone in the world, I do believe, and without a care.
Spirit, I demand that you accompany from this place. I demand that you take me home.
I told you, these are the shadows of the things that have already been. They are what they are. I bear no blame.
Why do you torture me? Why do you do this to me? Take me away.
Ebenezer! Ebenezer Scrooge! Come, enter. Come in, and know me better, man. For I am the spirit of Christmas present. Look upon me. You have never seen the like of me before.
I've never seen a face like yours. I think I would have remembered.
Then you have never walked among my older siblings, for I am the youngest of my family.
How many are you?
More than 1,800.
That's quite a family to provide for.
I have a lesson I brought to teach you.
Spirit, I will do that with a grateful heart. I have many lessons to learn. Take me where you will.
Then take hold of my robe.
Where would your father be? And at this hour? And your brother? Tiny Tim? Martha wasn't this like last Christmas. Here's Martha now, Mother. Mother, Martha's here. Wow, that's such a goose, Martha. Why, bless your heart, dear. How late you are.
We had a lot of work to finish last night and had to clean up this morning, Mother.
Well, never you mind. So as long as you're home now, come, sit down by the fire, Mama. Lord bless you. No, Father's coming. We see him now. Hi, Martha. Hide.
Hold there, Cratchits. Glad to be home. Has Martha arrived? I'm so looking forward to seeing her.
Dear, she won't be coming.
Not coming? Not coming on Christmas Day? Here I am, Father. Oh, it's good to see you, my dear Martha.
And how did Tiny Tim behave?
As good as gold and better somehow. He gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much and thinks the strangest things you've ever heard. He told me coming home. Why don't I let him tell it? Tim, tell your mother what you told me.
I hope the people saw me in church due to me being a cripple and all, because it might be pleasant to remember upon Christmas Day who made the lame beggars walk and the blind men see.
How are you guys doing?
Well, I don't believe I've ever seen such a goose as this. For sure, we've got the feast fit for a king. Oh, wonderful pudding, Mrs. Cratchit.
I must admit, I had my doubts on the quality of the flour.
It was so excited to eat it.
Have it.
A Merry Christmas to us all, my darlings. God bless us.
A Merry Christmas, Father. God bless us, everyone.
I had no idea Cratchit had so many to provide for. He shouldn't be able to afford this on a salary that he makes. I wish he had said something, or maybe I should have listened better. Spirit, what is wrong with this well-spoken young man?
Young Tim was born frail, and his legs never fully developed, and he's often ill. However, he has never been downcast and tries his best to improve the situation of those around him.
Well, can nothing be done? Is there no medical attention available?
Why, you yourself admit he has meager means, and the attention he requires does not come through charity.
Tell me, Spirit, will Tiny Tim live?
I see a vacant seat by the hearth, and a crutch without an owner, carefully preserved. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will certainly die.
No, don't say it. Don't say it, Spirit. It's not fair. Say that he will live.
If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the boy will die. But what is it to you? If he be like to die, he better do it and decrease the surplus population.
To Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
Founder of feast indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon it, and I hope you have a good appetite for it.
My dear, the children, Christmas Day.
It should be Christmas Day, on which one drinks the health of such an odious, stingy, hard-feeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is, Robert. Nobody knows better than you do, poor fellow.
But, dear.
Well, I'll drink his health for your sake and the day's sake, but not for his. Long life to him and a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy. I have no doubt.
Get ready.
He said Christmas is a humbug as I live. He believed it too.
More shame for him, Fred.
He's a comical old fellow. That's the truth, but I do believe him capable of being more pleasant than he is. However, his offenses carry their own punishment, and I have nothing to say against him.
I'm sure he's very rich, Fred. At least you always told me so.
What of that, my dear? His wealth is of no use to him. He doesn't do anything good with it. He doesn't make himself merry with it. He hasn't the satisfaction of thinking that he is ever going to benefit us with it.
I have no patience with him.
Oh, I have. I am sorry for him. I couldn't be angry with him, even if I tried. Who suffers by his ill whims? Himself, always. And he takes it into his mind to dislike us and not come and dine with us? Whose loss is it? His. He loses this fine meal.
Indeed, I think he loses a very fine meal. Do go on, Fred. He never finishes what he begins to say. He's such a ridiculous fellow like that.
I was only going to say that the consequence of his taking a dislike to us and not making merry with us is, as I think, that he loses some pleasant moments, which could do him no harm. I am sure he loses pleasanter companions than he could find in his own thoughts, either in his mobile office or his dusty chambers. I mean to give him the same chance every year, whether he likes it or not, for I pity him. He may humbug at Christmas till he dies, but he cannot help thinking better of it. I defy him. And if he finds me going there in good temper year after year saying, "Uncle Scrooge, how are you?" and it only puts him in the mind to leave his poor clerk 50 pounds, that's something, and I think I shook him yesterday.
Finally.
This is no talk for This is no talk for a party. Come everyone, let's sing. What song? I know. Deck the halls all together now. The halls with boughs of holly, la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, la 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 la. Join me now, our gay apparel, la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, la 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 la. Wonderful, wonderful. Let's keep the merriment alive. I have a great idea for a game.
Come, Scrooge. It is time to leave.
How about yes or no?
A game.
I'm thinking of
Just a half
something,
hour more.
and you have to guess what it is. Who wants to go first?
Ooh, is it an animal?
Yes.
Would it be a live animal?
Yes.
Would it be a kind, sweet animal?
No, definitely not.
Would it be a disagreeable
A
animal?
lion.
Yes.
A lion?
An animal that growled and grunted sometimes?
Yes.
Is it an animal that might talk sometimes?
What a foolish
Waste
question.
of
Why
a
waste a
question.
cat?
No, wait.
Animal.
Yes. Sometimes.
Well, what a
Does
parrot.
it live in London?
Parrot, maybe.
Yes.
Can it walk
parrot?
about the streets on its own?
Yes.
Ah, there goes the parrot.
Is it a horse?
No.
Ooh, is it
Bear?
a cat?
No.
Oh, is it a bear?
Is it a dog?
No.
Okay.
Is it a pig?
Well, no.
The Prime
Not
Minister.
really.
It's the Prime Minister.
I know what it is, Fred!
Smart girl.
I
she
know
beat me
what
to
it is!
What is it?
It's your Uncle Scrooge!
You are surely right, my dear.
Fred, I
see that I
must
should be the
say
brunt of this
that
joke.
being at your Uncle Scrooge the answer, a bear should have been a yes.
He has given us plenty of merriment this evening, to be sure, but it would be ungrateful for us not to drink to his health. Here's a glass of mulled wine ready at our hand, and I say, Uncle Scrooge. To Uncle Scrooge. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to the old fellow, whatever he is.
I would not normally put up with such careless banter at my expense, but considering the festivities of the day, I guess I will look in the other direction.
That is quite noble of you. This season comes to an end. My life upon this earth grows short.
Are spirits' lives so short?
Mine ends tonight at the stroke of the hour. We must hurry before the time arrives.
Spirit. I don't mean to speak out of turn, but there's something beneath your clothing. It looks like a claw or a hand.
Why, see for yourself. Look here.
Oh, Spirit. What are they? Are they yours?
No, they are man's. Do you not know them? This boy is ignorance, and this girl is want. Beware them both, and all of their kind. But most of all, beware this boy, for on his head I see written the word doom, unless the writing can be erased.
Is there no refuge, no resource?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
Ah, Spirit, you are the spirit of things to come. Is that so? You will show me things that have not yet been, but will be. Spirit, I fear you more than any other specter, but I know that I have much to change and I want to change, and so I follow you with a grateful heart. Will you not speak to me? Lead on, then, Spirit. The night is passing fast and the time is dear to me. Lead on. Why, Spirit, I know these people.
No, I don't know much
conducted
about it
business
either
with
way.
their
I
husbands
only
at the
know
stock
he's dead.
exchange.
When did he die?
What can I learn
Last
from
night,
them?
I believe.
Why? What was the matter with him?
I thought he never died. Did you know he had a heart that could stop?
God only knows.
What has he done with his money?
I haven't heard. Left it to his company, perhaps. He hasn't left it to me. That's all I know.
It's likely to be a cheap funeral. For all my life, I don't know of anyone that would go. Suppose we make up a party and volunteer. I don't mind going if lunch is provided.
Well, I am the most disinterested among you. I never wear black gloves, and I never have lunch at a funeral. But I will offer to go if anybody else will. When I come to think of it, I'm not at all sure that I wasn't his most particular friend, for we used to stop and speak whenever we met. Godspeed to you all.
Why, I know them. That's Henry Emsworth. He's the director of the bank. And Carolyn Appleton, the widow of the founder of the same bank. They're very wealthy and very powerful. It's good for business to stay in their good graces.
Well met, how are you?
Henry, how are you?
Well, old Scratch got his own at last, eh?
So I am told. Cold, isn't it?
Seasonable for Christmas time. You're not a skater, I suppose.
The time for that sort of thing passed long ago. Good morning to you then. Shall I see you off the board? Mrs. Dilber shall be after me, and the undertaker's man can be third. Isn't this something, Joe? All of us met here without meeting it.
You couldn't have met in a better place. Come in and sit. Don't be shy. We're all suitable to our calling. Ha! Come in.
What odds, then? What odds, Mrs. Dilber? Every person has a right to take care of themselves. He always did.
That's true indeed. No man more so.
Why then, don't stand staring as if you was afraid, woman. Who's the wiser? We're not going to pick holes in each other's coats, I suppose.
No, indeed. We should hope not.
Very well, then. That's enough. Who's the worse for the loss of a few things like these? Not a dead man, I suppose.
No, indeed.
If he wanted to keep them after he was dead, the wicked old screw. Why wasn't he natural in his lifetime? If he had been, he'd have had somebody to look after him when he was struck with death, instead of lying, gasping out his last there alone by himself.
It's the truest word that ever was spoke. It's a judgment on him.
I wish it was a little heavier judgment on him, and it should have been. You can bet your sweet life, if I could have laid my hands on anything else, I would have. Open up the bundle, Joe, and let me know the value of it. We all know that we are helping ourselves here. Open it up, Joe.
That's my offer, and I would give him a sixpence if I was to be boiled for not doing it. Who's next? I always give too much to ladies, and that's a weakness of mine, and that's the way I'll ruin myself. Okay? That's your account, and if you ask me for another penny and made an open question, I repent of being so liberal and knock off half a crown. And now, undo my bundle, Joe. What do you call this? Curtains?
Aye, curtains?
You don't mean to say you took them down like Snow from lying here?
Yes, I do, and why not?
You were born to make your fortune, and you'll certainly do it.
I certainly won't hold my hand back when I can get anything in it by reaching it out for such a sake of a man as he was. I promise you, Joe. Don't drop the oil upon the blankets now.
His blankets?
Who else's do you think? He isn't likely to take hold without them, I dare say.
Hope he didn't die of anything you catch him, aye?
Don't be afraid of that. I ain't so fond of his company that I'd hang around him if he did. Ah, you might look through that shirt until your eyes ache, but you won't find nary a hole in it or a threadbare place. It's the best one he had, and a fine one at that. They'd have wasted it had it not been for me.
What do you call wasting it?
Why, putting it on him to be buried in, of course. Somebody was fool enough to do it, but I took it off again. If burlap ain't good enough for such a purpose as this, it isn't good enough for anything. He can't look uglier than he already did. This is the end of it, you see. He frightened everyone away from him when he was alive, to profit us now when he is dead.
Spirit, I wonder if I could be the man that they're talking about. My life tends in that direction. Spirit, is there anyone who feels compassion for the death of this poor man? Is there any emotion in this town that you can show me? Show me that, or else this callous scene will be with me forever.
Where could your father be? It must be near his time. Pastor, rather, but I think these past few evenings he's walked a little slower than he used to. Yes, I have seen him walk with Tiny Tim upon his back very fast indeed, and so have I often.
Yes,
he didn't even mind to carry. But he was very light to carry, and your father loved him so that it was no trouble. No trouble. Here's your father at the door now. Don't be sad, Father.
They will be done before Sunday.
Sunday, you went today, then, Robert?
Yes, my dear. I wish you could have gone. It would have done you good to see how green a place it is. But you'll see it often. I promised him that I would walk there every Sunday. My little child. My little child. I bumped into Fred Howell today.
Fred?
Mr. Scrooge's nephew. I've only ever met him once, but he's the most well-spoken gentleman you ever heard. He told me, heartily sorry for it, Mr. Cratchit, and heartily sorry for your good wife, too. By the by, how he knew that, I do not know.
Knew what, dear?
Why, that you were a good wife.
Everybody knows that.
Very well observed, my dear Lord. I hope they do. Heartily sorry, he said, for your good wife. If I can be of service to you in any way, he said, handing me his card. That's where I live. He told me to come and see him if there was anything he could do for us. It really feels as if he had known our Tiny Tim and feels our loss with us.
I'm sure he's a good soul.
But however, and whenever we part from one another, I am sure that none of us will forget poor Tiny Tim in doing it, or this first parting loss from among us. And I know, my children, that when we think back about how patient and how mild he was, although he was a little child, we shall not quarrel easily and forget poor Tiny Tim in doing it.
No, never, Father.
I'm very happy to hear it. Very happy indeed.
So the boy has died. It's a sad, tragic thing. Oh, Spirit, Bob is a more noble man than me to bear this with such grace. Spirit, I sense, and I don't know how, that our time is coming to a close. Will you show me what I will be in the future? Please, show me my future. Spirit, why do you take me to a place where even the moon dares not shine? What can I learn here? Oh, Spirit, I am no fool. I recognize these shapes. You brought me to a cemetery. What can I learn from those that lie in the cold ground and speak no more? Oh, Spirit, tell me, are the shadows that you have shown me things that will be or things that may be? Oh, Spirit, before I go to see that stone, tell me, was I the man who those people found so much joy in his passing? Oh no, Spirit, no. I will not be the man that I was. I will try to be another man. Surely he would not show me all these things if there was not hope. Surely I would not go over these lessons if there was nothing that I could do. Oh, Spirit, please, I will be a different man. I will not be the man that I have been. Please save me from this wretched end. Oh, my own room, my own chair. I am myself still. Oh, may the Christmas time be praised. Oh, Jacob Marley, Jacob, dear Jacob, I say it on my knees. I say it on my knees, Jacob Marley. May the Christmas time in the heavens be praised. I am here. Oh, the curtains. The curtains are here. The curtains, they're not all torn down and destroyed. They're not all torn down, rings and all. I'm as happy as an angel. I'm as giddy as a schoolboy. I don't know what day it is. I don't know where I am. Wait, there's the corner where the ghost of Christmas present sat. There's the pot where the girl was. There's where Jacob Marley came in. It's all true. It's all true. It all happened. I don't know where I am. I don't know what day it is. I don't know anything. I'm like a baby. I'd rather be a baby. It doesn't matter. You there, boy! What day is it?
What?
What day is it?
Today? Why Christmas Day?
Christmas Day! Oh, the spirits have done it all in one night. Of course they have. They can do anything they want. Oh, wait! Hello! Hello, young man.
Hello?
Do you know the butcher on the next corner?
Sure hope I did.
Does he still have the prize turkey there? Not the small one, the big one.
What's the one as big as me?
Oh, such an intelligent young man. Yes. Go and buy it. No, go and buy it. Tell the man to come with it, and I'll tell him where to take it. If you come back with him, I'll give you a shilling. If you come back within 5 minutes, I'll give you half a crown.
Will do, right away, sir.
Bob Cratchit. I'll send it to Bob Cratchit. He won't know where it came from. Well, hello there. Merry Christmas. Wow, that is a giant turkey. Yes, thank you. You'll need a taxi to take that all the way to Camden Town. Here's the address. And here's the money. Thank you, my good man. Off with you.
Merry Christmas, sir.
Very good.
Thank you. So,
God rest you, merry gentlemen, nothing you dismay. Remember Christ the Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Ah, ladies, it's good to see you. I hope you were successful yesterday.
Mr. Scrooge?
Yes, that's my name. My spirit may not be a happy one with you. I apologize for that. And
Lord bless me!
my dear Mr. Scrooge, are you serious?
I am. And I will tell you, there are many back payments there. I hope you will take my apology and take that. Will you come and see me tomorrow?
We will.
Very good. Merry Christmas to you, ladies. Thank you 1,000 times over.
Why, bless my soul.
Hello, Fred. I've come for Christmas dinner if the invitation still stands. May I come in?
Why, of course. Come in, come in. Mary, you must come here and see who it is.
Oh, Uncle Scrooge. I hope it is all right if I may call you Uncle.
Oh, that would be wonderful. It would be wonderful to be called family after the way I've treated you all these years.
I am positively unsure of what has changed your mind in joining us, but it fills my heart to have you here. A Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Yes, Merry Christmas, Uncle Scrooge. Please come and enjoy the party. We welcome you as our guest of honor.
A Merry Christmas to both of you.
You must see Mary's turkey. It's quite magnificent.
Cratchit! What do you mean coming in at this time of hour?
I'm very sorry, sir. I'm behind my time.
Yes. Yes, you are. Step this way, sir.
It's only once a year, sir. It shall not be repeated. I was making rather merry yesterday.
Yes. Because of that, I will put up with this no longer, and so I'm going to raise your salary.
What?
Bob, I'm going to raise your salary, and I'm going to assist your struggling family. We'll talk about this over a Christmas bowl of stew. Turn on the fire, get a roaring fire, and don't dot another I until you've gotten a new cuddle of coal. Merry Christmas, my young man.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all.
And infinitely more.
And to Tiny Tim,
Who did not die.
he was a second father. He was a good friend, a good master,
And a good man.
as the good old city knew, or any other good old city or town.
In the good old world.
Some people laughed to see the change in him, but he let them laugh, and he didn't give it another thought.
He thought it quite as well that they should wrinkle up their eyes and grins. His own heart laughed.
And that was quite enough for him.
He had no further visits with spirits, but lived upon the lessons learned ever afterwards.
And so, it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well.
May that be truly said of us.
And all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone.
Oh, so